At least 1 in 5 Indians is poor. Out of the entire population, 270,000 Indians are considered below poverty line. Low-income states are 45% of India's population, and 80% of India's poor live in rural areas. There is a huge income difference between urban and rural areas. In cities, households earn on average 91% more than their rural counterparts. Consequently, millions of rural inhabitants seek to move to the already overcrowded metropolis, overstraining the insufficient water supply and electric systems and enduring the non-existent garbage disposal. These conditions cause poor hygiene that leads to disease such as cholera, typhus, and dysentery, in which children especially suffer and die. There is a very high infant mortality rate in India due to these poor hygienic conditions and lack of healthcare access. Close to 1.4 million children die in India before their 5th birthday, and more than 200 million people do not have sufficient access to food. In terms of education, India is a country with a wide disparity between poor and non-poor. 45% of India's poor are illiterate, and only 15% have more than secondary education. 25% of children do not have access to education at all, with girls being more excluded than boys in spite of equality before the law. Social customs among the population are disfavorable to women. Infrastructure for the poor is lacking, especially in education. Only 6 out of 10 schools in India have access to electricity. Infrastructure more generally is also a severe issue in India. Businessmen classify it as the biggest hurdle India faces. A call for improved roads, railways, ports, airports, telecommunications, and electricity has been made, because without them, India's development cannot take off. Addressing transparency and corruption is essential for India to be successful in this enterprise. Infrastructure is regarded as inadequate, and improving it could boost industries such as steel, cement, auto, and real estate. Infrastructure development has been slowed down because of 2 factors. First, it is mainly a private enterprise since the state is severely hindered by its growing debt. Secondly, land acquisitions have been an obstacle to the development of infrastructure due to the resistance of farmers to sell their land. The average life of an Indian living under $5 a day consists of hard manual labor, earning meager wages and not affording commodities we see as essential. Millions of households do not have access to electricity and sewage systems. Deficient housing and sanitation conditions put family at risk of disease and disability. Medical care is so expensive that parents often must choose between food for their families or medicine for themselves. This is the life of the people in India at the base of the pyramid.